He's been a great friend and a mentor for many, many years. Dave Sterling used to have a saying where he would say, and I laughed at him every time he said it. I always teased him and said it's because he doesn't understand the science. He doesn't understand the chemistry. But he would say the oils work automagically. You can hear him saying that, can't you? It just works automagically, Doc. I remember one time we were in Japan, and Japan is a very formal place, and you need to speak with authority and clarity. And he said, oils work automagically. And there was just blank stares all across it was one of the greatest moments I've ever seen. I was so happy to see that. The essential oils are magic. They're magical because we experience things nearly every single day that are very difficult for us to explain. It leads us to this understanding that the value and belief we have in essential oils is really rooted in our own personal experiences. I have some ways that I can illustrate that to you. A number of years ago, in fact, it was, I think, our second convention that we ever had. It was at the end of the day. It was the last day of convention. And I had been there long answering questions. In fact, the crews were there taking everything down from convention, and I was still there answering questions. When I finally finished and was walking towards the exit, there were two nurses who were sitting at the very back of the room. I wonder if Tonya McBride is here today. If you are, I want to thank you. And they expressed an interest in having essential oils in their hospital here at Vanderbilt. And I said we would be interested in trying to pursue that. And it led to 2 years of meetings and discussions. I want you to imagine traveling to Vanderbilt on many occasions where I would come with piles of research, and as questions were asked, I would pass out to the doctors and to the administrators, and we'd have open dialogue and discussion. And for 2 years, we carried on those conversations. It was frustrating and it was maddening because we knew that the oils had value, but we were not getting to where we needed to be. In the last meeting that I attended, the administrator who was going to make this decision had his head down and was rubbing his head. If you could read his mind, he was probably saying, if I have to hear Dr. Hill speak even one more time. The nurse who was sitting next to him said, what's wrong? And he said, well, I got a problem and I've been having these therapies and I have a headache and it never goes away and they can't do anything about it. She reached into her bag. A beam of light shot out. Angels were singing. And she pulled out a bottle of peppermint. And she said, I think I can help with that. And she put a couple of drops of peppermint in his hands. She told him to breathe it in. Don't get it in your eyes. She told him to put some on the temples and some on the back of his neck. And our meeting continued, and it was very laborious. After about 5 minutes, maybe a little less, he said, stop. Stop. Stop talking. Is this what we're talking about? He looked at me and I said, yes, for 2 years. And I'll never forget. He said, Teresa, Tonya, Dr. Hill, if you'd be so kind. And he pointed out one other person. I would like all of you to gather together now and form an implementation committee. And I want these in the hospital as soon as we can get them there. That was an aha moment for me. For 2 years, we've been pontificating about all of the science and all of the energy and all the things that could happen and all the legal reasons why that would be acceptable. None of that mattered. It was somebody who said, I think I can help you with that. A few weeks ago, my wife